We'd like to welcome everyone tonight. This is a really cool celebration. It's really cool seeing all the alumni that's come tonight. It's really cool our alumni association's here tonight. Aerotech's here tonight. It's really cool. This is our birthday party in a sense. We've been here now 10 years here at the iMET Center. 10 years ago, the engineering tech wing used to be on the Racine campus. We packed everything up, like basically in a wagon train. We brought it out here and we dumped it in the middle of the open bay. And at that point, we created the engineering tech wing here at iMET Center, which is really, really awesome. It's been a long time. Back in 2002, we actually created the engineering tech wing, which was the fusion of civil engineering tech, electrical engineering tech, and mechanical design into one cohesive wing on the Racine campus, something that hadn't been done before. At that time, we were given $3,000 basically to do the move. We kicked around a lot of people, and within a week, we created the engineering tech wing, which was more of a ambiance. Yeah, it was a concept at the time. We were so low on technology back then. We had our first computer room, which was literally cardboard boxes that we printed out with faceplates of computers, and we taped them to the cardboard boxes.
And we said,
yeah, go ahead.
And we said, this is what it would look like if we had, if we had actual computers in this room. And they kind of looked and said, yeah, that would be nice. We should probably get some. But you have to understand that when we first built the engineering tech wing, it was truly about a state of mind. We believe that the synergy between all the engineering and technology programs would truly be greater, and the sum would be greater than the parts. And it was.
Because at the time, we were scattered in different parts of the Racine campus. We were not anywhere close to each other. So the whole concept of all of us coming together on one floor, which at the time was the 4th floor that we chose over at the Racine campus, was groundbreaking. We even made the newspaper. It was so groundbreaking at the time. They came over and did a full feature on us talking about the development of the engineering tech wing.
I think the significance to that was, this was the first time Gateway Technical College had something of that significance in the area of engineering. When Gateway brought Steve and myself on, that was a change in mentality for what you're going to teach at the two-year technical college level. The programs that preceded all of you were not of the same caliber, quite honestly. The civil program was completely revamped. Additional areas were added to it. How many of you are in the architectural program?
Exactly. Number of you.
Yeah. That didn't exist before this. How many of you were in the freshwater program? How many are in that? That didn't exist back then. How many are in the
construction project management?
Yeah, construction project management.
We didn't have any of that either.
Didn't have any of that either.
We also didn't have biomedical engineering at the time, and a number of you are in biomed now. We brought on board electrical engineering tech, because at the time we had electronics, and we had an EET thing that was a dream.
Right.
We didn't even have the 2+2 with MSOE. Our very first accomplishment of the engineering tech wing was the development of the 2+2 with the Milwaukee School of Engineering EET program.
Yes, and we signed that. Actually, we were just talking about that. Dr. Stranger and I were reminiscing, if you will. I showed him some pictures back when both of us still had black hair. I mean, you can believe that. That was a long time ago. We spent about a year redesigning the EET program at MSOE and building, I started with a blank sheet of paper, building the EET program for here at Gateway Technical College. So we started from scratch, put together what should or would be the best possible combination of what you take on the first 2 years here and the second 2 years there. And by doing that, we were able to sign the first transfer agreement with the Milwaukee School of Engineering back in 2001. We had our first grads go on to MSOE in 2003. I was hoping that Walter Edwards would be here because he was the first graduate. but we do have some MSOE grads here that were once Gateway grads. Jeff and Jill both went through the program. Yes.
This is really cool.
Yes, and what this is it opens up lots of opportunities for you, right? Whether it's mechanical, electrical, civil. Because of that transfer agreement, we were able to reach out to Marquette and said, if we can do this in electrical, we ought to be able to do this in civil, we ought to be able to do this in biomedical. And we did. We're working with UW Milwaukee. We have a 2+3 with UW Milwaukee in electrical engineering. We have one in the architectural program. That should be signed any time now.
We also created one for UW Parkside in the freshwater resources area. We created one with St. Cloud State for our survey program. We've created a multitude of different transfer path opportunities based off of that first one we created a few years ago.
Yes, and what I think is the significance of all of that is we wouldn't have those transfer agreements if we didn't have solid programs. So when you're thinking about this, you're thinking, well, you know what, I'm not going to transfer to MSOE. I have no desire to go to Marquette, whatever that, whichever one that you're talking about. It doesn't matter. The fact is that we have a strong enough program that it's the first 2 years of an engineering program tells you that you're in the right associate degree for the local industry here. All of you are in very high demand. There are more jobs out there than there are graduates. And that's going to continue for the foreseeable future. So you're in the right place at the right time. And I say that with a lot of confidence because we've got Aerotech, our partners to the left here, out here, and they've got a list of jobs that they're looking for people for. They wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. I talk about the strong programs, but what we really created, I believe, is an environment where all of you could reach your peak potential. Where I see people come in, and Mike started when he was still at Waterford High School, taking classes, youth options. And then he continues on and he finishes his associate degree, and he's got a great job. 21 years old, and he's out making a wonderful living. That's the power of a 2-year technical college degree. And that's what all of you are chasing after. I have to tell you honestly, when it comes down to how many of you are in the EET program? Yeah, so next semester we're going to talk about transfer functions in the ECA class. And the idea of a transfer function is, if I put this in, can I predict what I'll get out? What is my rate of return? My biggest rate of return for all of my degrees has been my associate degree. My associate degree back when I took it, yes, I had colleges back then, $1,100 and 2 years of my life, 84 and 85, $1,100. My bachelor's degree was $40,000. That was back when MSOE was only 10 grand a year. And notice how I said only? I think it was, yeah, only. And my graduate degree was another 35 for my master's. Now let me ask you a really quick math question, because we wouldn't be engineers talking if we didn't throw in a math question. Do you think my salary now, the associate degree was $1,100, bachelor's was $40. Do you think my salary went up 40 times when I got my bachelor's degree? Absolutely not. It went up a little bit. It didn't go up a lot. The bulk of that jump went with my associate degree. What the bachelor's degree gave me, what my master's degree gave me, was additional insight into something that I enjoyed. I did those for me. I didn't do those for the money. For the money, I did the associate degree. And that's why you're all here, right? You want that better future. You want that the next better thing within your life. Your associate degree is a game changer. It is the best transfer function you'll ever see. You're going to put a little bit in, you're going to get a whole lot out. And that's why you're all here. Now, we designed this way back in 2000. The idea of the engineering tech wing. We moved it out here.
Well, we designed it because at the time, what happened on the Racine campus, we had, who's now our provost, Dr. Zena Haywood, came on board and took over the Racine campus. One of our charges was to become the best we could be at whatever we did. And then Dr. Brian Albrecht was hired as our president, which was awesome because he gave us the avenue and the opportunities to do those things. So we had the charge and we're given, hey, if you want to try this, we'll try to find a way to make this happen. Back in 2000, we had the dream. We built that dream into what you see now here at iMET, which is literally one of the best educational centers in the United States. Hands down. I will put this up against anyone, anywhere, anytime. This campus, this center, has better technology because we had one vision back then. And that was what this says right here. The fusion of education and application. A lot of places teach, but they don't walk the walk. Here, we learn not only what to do, but importantly, how to do it. And that was the critical part in everything we did.
Yes, and you know, speaking of that, so 3 weeks ago, some of you knew that I was gone. I was out in Reno, Nevada, touring the Tesla factory. I was out at the Giga plant, and that's all that I can say about it due to the non-disclosure things that I had to sign to walk through the plant. But here's what I will tell you. I toured a community college out there that was doing all the training for there. And they were very proud of all their facilities and everything, and they had us walking through. And everyone that was out there touring that place kept saying, wow, look at all this. And I was walking by looking, thinking, yeah, wait till you come to our place. Because you ain't seen nothing yet. Everyone that we have come through here takes pictures and takes it back. Because what you have here is the finest in facilities. Back in the early 2000s, I was out here walking the ground when this was gravel and spikes for all the survey people.
It was beautiful back then.
It was just gravel and spikes. Today, in a meeting today, 20 years later, 18 years later, I was in a meeting discussing the next phase of the build-out. For those of you that don't know, what you see here as a footprint, in 2 years it'll be twice the size. We're going to take this entire building and put a duplicate on the other side of the outside wall. Our building's going to expand. And it's expanding because Gateway Technical College believes in the engineering programs here. We do not have these wonderful labs and this wonderful facility by accident. It's not just because they don't have anywhere else to spend their funds. It's because they know what you all bring to the local economy when you go out and work as civil engineering technicians, as mechanical designers, as electronic engineers, as biomedical techs. They know what you bring to the economy, and they know how you change the face of Racine. That's why Gateway puts the money back into this building. We're going to continue to grow.
Which is a far cry from the days of our cardboard boxes, by the way.
Yeah, so with that, I'd like to leave you with just one last thought, and then I'll turn it over to Steve for his final thought. And here is mine. I leave you all with a charge. Every single one of you, and I'm trying to make eye contact, every single one of you is an ambassador for what we have here. I want you to think of yourself, and you're going to love this, as a Lay's potato chip, right? Because if they hire you, they aren't going to stop at just one. If you go out and you are as good an employee as you are a student, the companies are going to come back and ask for more. I was talking with Matt earlier, GE Medical. 2 years ago, GE Medical was here, and I was talking to them about hiring our grads. They said, well, we don't typically hire two-year graduates. I said, well, you haven't met ours yet. You need to meet ours. So we toured the facilities. We looked at the curriculum. They hired 1, they hired 2, they hired 10, they hired 15. Now you walk through the place and it's Red Hawks everywhere you look. You walk into Unico, it's Gateway grads wherever you look. You walk into BEI, it's Gateway grads wherever you look. You walk into Waukesha Electric, the list goes on. Every single company that hires one of you comes back for more. So my charge to you is this: continue being that ambassador for us. graduate, get a great job, be good at what you do so that that company comes back and asks for more.
Exactly. Because, Randy, come here a second. This is Randy Reiser.
You're going to give me something.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you got to realize, we were the three people, we were the two originals, and you came on shortly after on the Racine campus, and that's all that's left from those days. Everyone that was there, were it. And you even gone on to bigger and better, but...
Just a little quick story. I met Mr. Hoppy when I was on the advisory committee for the Gateway Electronics program. I was already an alumni at Gateway before some of you were born. I got my Gateway degree. And I met Mr. Hoppy on the advisory committee. I served on the Gateway Technical College Advisory Committee for 6 years. And I saw a failing electronic program going down the tubes just because the instructors were sort of getting tired and ready to retire. And Mr. Hoppy came in and he brought a fresh breath into it. And he took a program that was on its way down and brought it to the very top. And that's a fact. I saw that firsthand, and it's a credit to Mr. Hoppy. It's a credit to Steve. So I can't go to any company where I don't find some Gateway students working at. Kennel is another one to add to your list, and Syncerator, and SC Johnson, and on and on and on. And so you guys have a tremendous opportunity. You are the reason, one of the big reasons why Foxconn chose to build across the street from us here, well, down the road, but, so because of you guys. So.
No,
and Mr. Hoppy, you can get that color back at Walgreens on the shelf, you know, it's not too expensive.
But one of the things that you gotta realize is, we fought this since 2000. And it's been an awesome, awesome journey, watching this thing go from where we were to where we're at. But it's not going to end here, because I want our three ones that are replacing us to come up now. Ash, Bob, Jill, come on up. Because this is the next generation of the engineering tech wing that we're handing over basically to these individuals to take it from where we're at to heights that we've never imagined before. And that's what's really cool. So, welcome guys. Go ahead.
I'm Bob Kavish, architecture instructor here. I was talking to Pat and Jill earlier. I got hired 10 years ago. So I came to a chicken dinner night, which is probably about the same time as this is happening. And I was like, who has chicken dinner for free at school? I want to work there, right? It's the best thing. And I started in January of 2008, and this is the single place I've worked the longest. It's been a great job. I get to play with all the coolest toys, and they're not lying. When you go to other schools, it's amazing the lack of technology that there is, and the things we have here and the instructors to back it up. It's awesome. It's an awesome place to work.
So I was a student here before, and I graduated in 2008. Sorry, I'm not talking loud enough. And Pat hounded me after I graduated and made me come back. So I came here as a student, and I never left. And I'm never gonna, I'll be here until I'm done. So I love this place. So proud to be part of the program and helping every one of you find your path in life. Mine ended up here, and I'm really thankful for that. So that's it.
So hi, I'm new here, but I can't make a comparison because I'm a recent graduate from the university. I just graduated in 2016. So I was also teaching there, but most of the things that I was like having some issue was like the hands-on experience that the students are going to have when they graduate is way different than the one you guys have here. Everything, even more than the university that you guys have equipped. So I like everybody to use them effectively and apply. Everything is based on the basic things, right? So probably you might not get like how to read the calipers in the university. Those things like don't happen. And I found some of the time, like in my class when I teach there, some of them cannot read the caliper. I was amazed. They're already like the senior, the last year lab project. So what I want to say is like everything's here, the basic thing, use of equipment are more than enough, the university than a nice place to learn. And I love being here and I'm very happy to teach as well.
That's one of the things you're starting to see. When Pat and I were hired one many years ago, to make it count, the individuals that wanted to work here weren't coming here. But now you're seeing individuals from across the spectrum, across the United States, and from around the world start to recognize this place as one of the most dominant places to educationally train engineering technology, which is huge.
Yeah, so I was just going to mention something. You said earlier, Steve, that this is the next generation of engineering teacher here. Hear me out. So I am not leaving.
No, we're not leaving yet. We're not dead.
But what you need to know is this. Because of my role in the build out of the new building and the additional responsibilities that I'm taking on as chair, I'll still be teaching, but the responsibility, the oversight, the person running the electrical engineering and technology program, the electronics program, the biomedical program is not Pat Hoppy, it is Jill Sammons. So from this point forward, you need to know that when you have a question, when you have an issue, when you have something you need to do, you need to see her, because I'm focused a bit more on other things. I'll still be teaching. I'm not going away, but she has agreed to take on the responsibility of oversight of all of our electrical programs. So I think we're pretty lucky about that. She wasn't kidding. So when she was at MSOE, you all know that Dr. Strangeway and I are friends. I did keep track of when she was up there, and I did ask her to come back. Just like I asked Jeff Gruber, who's starting here in spring. Jeff is a past Gateway alum. He's an electrical engineer, and he works at Rockwell. And he's going to come back and he's going to teach in the open lab. We keep track of our Gateway alum because, you know what? We're not doing it for the money. We're not doing it. They told me teachers get summers off. I've never had a summer off. We do it for you guys and gals. That's why we do this. So I just wanted you all to know here first that when it comes to all things electrical, she's in charge. All right? Thank you.
Yep, no, that's great. So once again, thank you very much for coming to this celebration. It's really cool having this all to come together to showcase even what we were amazed with how far we've actually come and the excitement we all share with where we're going to in the years to come. Because it's going to be a great ride. It's been a great ride, and the next generation coming through is going to take this even higher, better, and faster than what we could ever imagine 15 years ago when this all started, or 20 years ago when this all started. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming out tonight, and hope you had a great time, and thanks again.
Two more shout-outs. Danny Moore and Steve Stubbe and Steve Blasterman are all EET grads, MSOE grads, and are back here teaching. Do you see a trend? Do you see a trend? Brett Blasterman are all back here teaching. Do you see a trend? Right? So for those of you that go on, tell your dad we talked about him tonight. Okay? His dad is Steve. When you go on, let us know where you're at, because we like to bring good talent back to teach for us. So please, stay in touch.
Definitely.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.